Hello friends, so now we'll see how to execute all string handling functions, how to write a simple programs for each and every string handling function. And from the beginning I'll show how to create this string. So what happens if I didn't initialize a string to /0 when I am assigning my each and every character. Okay, so I'll show each and every program. Okay, so I have written almost every program for every string handling function. Okay, so now we'll see one by one program execution. Okay, so this is a program 1, that is a string1.c. So in this program, so you can clearly see that there are two strings, s1 and s2. So string 1 is having size 5 and string 2 is having size 6. For the string 1 I have assigned individual characters, that is HELLO, but you can see here that I didn't assign /0 as my last character in the first string, but for the second string I have assigned /0 as the last character, and I am trying to print this string 1 and string 2. So you can see the output, what happens if I didn't initialize /0 as an individual character for a character type of an array. Okay, so I am executing this program. Okay friends, so see this S1 is printed as a HELLO, and there is some kind of a letter A with some kind of a dash over it, and S2 is hello. You can see that when you are not initialized a string properly, so it will print a garbage character along with your string content, but S2 is actually properly initialized, so S2 is printed as this. So this is you have to remember that. So whenever you want to write a string program wherein you want to initialize your string by each and every character like an elements of an array, so you have to specify the /0 as the last character. Okay, so this is the first program. Okay, and we'll go to the next program. Okay friends, so this is the second program. So in this program I have taken two strings, that is s1 and s2. So I am just reading two strings, s1 and s2, one with getS function and another one with scanf function. Okay, so I have already told you that getS function can read strings with spaces. That means even though there are spaces in your string, it can easily read the total string. But what is the problem with the scanf is it cannot read strings with spaces. It thinks that when there is a space in your string, that will be considered as end of the string and stops reading the string. Okay, so that is that point I want to show you in this particular program, and I'm trying to print all the two strings s1 and s2. Okay, so I'll execute this program. So you can see this is asking for my string. Okay, so I'll enter some string here, hi, how, and it is again asking me for the second string, so that is also hi, how. Okay, but it's printing only first string as a total string, that is hi, how, but the second string is only hi. So what is the problem here is the first string is read by getS function and second string is read by scanf function. So getS function has read the entire string, but scanf has only read the until space. So when the space is encountered, it just stopped the reading the string. Okay, so that's why you are getting the second string as only the first character word, that is hi. Okay friends, so this is a difference between getS and scanf function. Okay, so we'll go to the next program. Okay friends, so look at this particular program str3. So here I have taken two strings, that is s1 and s2. So I have taken the s1 with the size 20 and I have initialized it to hi Rama. So and second string is I haven't specified its size, so I have just initialized the string. So when you initialize a character array to a string, it will assume the size of the array as the length of the your string. So hi Rama is having totally 8 characters, that is HAI space RAMA. So there are total 8 characters. So S2 will take 9 as a size, because 8 for the string and 1 for the /0. Okay, so even though you are not specified size here, S2 will consider the size as a 9. But when you are trying to print these sizes, okay, so what happens, you can see this. Okay, I'll execute in this program. Okay friends, so clearly you can see that the size of S1 is 20 and size of S2 is 9. Okay friends, so this is I want to clarify thing that so whenever you are creating a static kind of strings, that means when you are fixing the size of the string before execution, so that will be you are wasting so much of space when you are not fully utilizing the entire space. That means so HiRAM has occupied only 9 characters, 9 bytes of your memory, but you have reserved 20 bytes, so the 11 bytes will be wasted in the first string, that is S1. But in S2, so I haven't specified the size of the array. I have just initialized my string to the HiRAM, so it will take the size based on the number of characters in your string. Okay, so the second option is better when you are trying to initialize your strings. Okay friends, so this is the third program. We'll move to the next program. Okay program, so see this particular program. So what I am doing here is I want to find the length of my string. Okay, so without using any string handling functions. Okay, so I have already told you that there are so many string handling functions available in the header file string.h, but without using string handling functions, can you find the length of the string? Yes, we can find the length of the string by using a loops and taking a variable with count 0 value. So I'll traverse my string from index 0 to until I encounter the null character, and I will increment my count value. That is here the count value is len, which is initialized to 0. So this will count the total character count. So you can see the execution of this particular program. So I have taken the string as hi, how are you? So your for loop runs from I 0 to and S1 of I not equals to null. That means the last until the last character. So for every iteration it will consider it will encounter a character. A character is not equals to null, so it will increment the length value. That is 0 is incremented to 1, 1 is incremented to 2. So this will be repeated until your string is exhausted. That means until you reach the null character. So then finally you are just printing the length. Okay, so you just looking at that string, you can easily count. So there are total how many number of characters in there. Okay, I'm just executing my program, just you can see the output. Okay. Okay friends, so now we can see that length of the S1 is equals to 15. Okay, so this is how we are finding the length of the string without using any string handling functions. Okay, I'm just clearing. Okay, for the better clarity, I'm just clearing the screen. Okay, so CLRSCR function, this particular function works only in Turbo C or DOS or whatever the Windows kind of environment. It doesn't work in the Linux environment. Okay, so you have to use that CLRSCR. Okay, and another important point is here in every program I'm using this getch function. Getch function actually doesn't related to the concept of the program, or it doesn't part of the logic of the program. I have used this getch before return 0 only to hold my output screen. Okay, if getch is removed from the program, you'll come back to the program, you cannot see the output, then you have to type alt F5. Okay, instead of typing alt F5, I'm just using getch in order to hold my output screen. Okay, so I have used clear screen, just I'm executing again the program. So this is a hi, how are you is the string, and length of the string is equals to 15. Okay, so this is the output of my program, friends. Okay, so I'll move to the next program. Okay friends, so this particular program, in this particular program I want to give a clarity on what is the size of the string and what is the length of the string. Okay, so coming to the size of the string, that will count the size of the string as a number of bytes allocated for your string. That means including the space occupied by /0. So here I have taken the string as S1, which is India. So when you are counting the number of characters in India, there are only 5 characters, but how much space does it occupies? It occupies 6 bytes of space, because for 5 characters it occupies 5 bytes, and for the /0 character it occupies another byte. So the total space allocated for your S1 is 6 bytes. So when you are applying the size of function on S1, you will get a 6. Okay, when you are applying a string length function, okay, here I am using the first or the primary string handling function, that is strlen. So in order to work your string length function or strlen function, you need to include string.h header file in your program. So that's why the second statement is string.h. okay, so here I am using a size of and strlen. So size of is used to find how much space is reserved for s1, and string length is used to find how many characters. String length means the number of characters in your string excluding /0. okay, remember friends, it will give you the length of the string excluding /0. /0 is not included in the string's length. okay, so this is the program. okay, so for this also I am just clearing the previous output. okay, so I am using a cl or scr here. okay friends, I am just executing my program. Yeah, here you can see that the size of the s1 is 6, but the length of the s1 is 5, because length does not count that /0. okay, but size will give you the number of bytes occupied by your string. okay, so this is the difference between the size of and the string length functions for the strings. okay, we move to the next program, friends. okay, so in this particular program, so I have just wanted to clarify that how to print individual characters of your string. okay friends, so this string is created as an array of characters. okay, an array of characters. If you want, you can access or you can retrieve individual characters of your string just by specifying the name of your string along with some index value. okay friends, so look at here I have declared a string called s1, and I assigned it to the good morning. That means initialize it to the string called good morning. okay, so what I try to do here is, so I am just printing the first character of my string, that is s1 of index 0. okay friends, so I have discussed here various ways of displaying the character. okay, you can take that index in place of the name of the array, and you can shift that name of the array to the index, that is inside square bracket. so that also works in the C language. Or you can call it as something like a star s1, means if s1 is a pointer kind of a thing, because you already know that arrays and pointers are similar, because arrays name itself is like a pointer, that means it represents the base address of the array. And so if you want, you can use that notation also, that is a star of s1, like star p. We have used star of s1, or you can use a star of p plus I is the index value. so that in that sense I have used a star of s1 plus 0. okay friends, so see here, this s1, which is an array, is actually used as a pointer here. Still you can access it. And the last printf statement is for printing the entire string. okay, so I'll execute this program. okay, so see here friends, so s1 of 0, in all the notations you have used s of index 0, or 0 of square bracket si, or star si, or star s1 plus 0, and finally you are printing the total string. okay, so I want to clarify that you can access individual characters. okay, so I am just changing it. So you may think that I can only print only the first character. I will change the index value to some 6 or something here. okay, so I will make changes in the alternative statements. Alternative statements like this. Here I will change that. So 6. okay, so we'll see what happens. okay, so I'll just saving my changes, and I'm executing the program, guys. okay, so see here that the character at index 6 is actually O. so you can see that so here in first and fourth lines are printing the letters O. okay, so this is a small program on how to access individual characters of your strings. okay, we'll move to the next program, friends. okay friends, so this is another string handling function. I want to use strcpy. so you know that strcpy stands for string copying. so you can copy one string into another string. okay, so here I have taken two strings, s1 and s2, and before that I have included my string handling header file, that is string.h. so I have taken two strings, s1 and s2. s1 is having the string good, and s2 is having the string morning. so here I am using this strcpy string copy. so there are two parameters for strcpy, s1 and s2. so this S1 is the destination string and S2 is the source string. Remember friends, first parameter is the destination and the second parameter is the source. That means source will be copied into destination. So that means in this example S2 is copied into S1. So after that I am just printing what are the contents of S1. I am just checking that what are the contents of my S1. Okay friends, so I am executing this particular program. Okay, so you can see that S1 is having a good morning and S1 is printing that morning. Okay friends, so you can see here that is I have taken two strings, that is S1 and S2. I have just copied the contents of S2 into S1 and just printing that, okay, S1. Okay friends, so what do you mean by this is I am just using a better clarity. I am just clearing the contents of the previous example. Okay, so CLR SCR. Okay, so you can execute this particular program friends. Yeah, you can see here S1 is having only the morning. Okay, so now you can get the clarity by clearing the previous output. That is actually the S1 is containing the good, but after copying S2 into S1, S1 is containing the morning. Okay, for your clarity, I'm just printing these things. Okay, printf S1 is equals to %s slash n. So I'm just, for your clarity, I'm just printing the every string here. Okay, and here again I'm printing S2 printf. So I'm printing this S2 here. S2 is equals to %, yes, here. So here I'm just printing S2. Okay friends, so this is what I am doing here is this is now you can execute a program friends. So that is okay, I'm just saving my changes. Okay, so Alt F, say, then I'm executing my program. So for doing these things, so you need to remove this CLR SCR from here. I'm just placing it because that is erasing my previous output. Okay, that is a problem. So CLR SCR here. Okay friends, so now you can change that. Okay, now see here my first string is good and second string is morning. Then I have applied string copying, that is copying S2 into S1. So S1 content good is erased and morning is copied into the S1, and finally you can see that morning in the first string. Okay friends, so this is how you can use this strcpy. Okay, so we'll move to the next program friends, that is str. I'm moving to the next program, str8.c. Okay friends, now you can see that so this particular program, so what I have done is I have just using another string handling function that is called string concatenation. Okay friends, so this is a string concatenation. Okay, I'm just showing only this program by closing all the remaining things. Okay, so here you can see that I have taken two strings, that is S1 and S2, and first string is having good and second string is having a morning. Okay, so now what I have done here is, okay, I have just applied a string handling function called strcat, that is a string concatenation. Okay, so string concatenation means second string will be appended at the end of the first string. Okay, so that means strcat is having two parameters S1 and S2. So at the end of the first string S1 you can append second string, that is S2. So later you can see the contents of S1, and again I have applied the reverse procedure of this thing, that is a string concatenation, that is S1 is appended at the end of the S2, and I have tried to see what are the contents of S2. Okay, so when I am executing this particular program, so you can see that S1 is having a good morning and S2 is having a morning, good morning. Okay friends, so what I have done here is, okay, for your convenience I just putting this in a comment section. That means, okay friends, so I put those two statements in the comment section. Now while executing my program by saving it, Okay friends, now you can see here S1 is having a good morning. Actually what you have taken in S1, you have taken good and S2 is taking morning, and you have applied that string concatenation on S1 and S2. So S1 contents are changed from good to good morning. Okay friends, now I am removing these comment symbols here because I want to apply on S1 on S2. So here in this second strcat statement, so S2 is the first parameter and S1 is the second parameter. That means at the end of S2, that is S2 is morning, S1 is embedded. What is the contents of S1? S1 is already embedded, that is good morning. So by the end of the morning, you will it will append the good morning. Okay, so that is the output friends. So you can see that. Okay, so see here the string S2 is having a morning appended by good morning. So that is how to use this string concatenation friends. Okay, so this string concatenation can be used by just altering its things, that is strcat can be applied with strncat. This is another form of a string concatenation friends, another form of a string concatenation. Okay, so here what I am doing here is I am just removing these statements because for the better clarity of strncat I am just removing these statements. So okay, what I have done here is I have applied this another function called strncat, that is a string concatenation up to n characters. Okay, so what is this is you have to declare a particular n value, that is I have taken this int n equals to some 3. Okay, so this strncat will have 3 parameters friends. First 2 are the strings and next one is the n value. What is this n value? How many characters you want to append? In the previous section, strcat has appended the total second string to the end of the first string, but in this case the 3 characters from the second string, that is MOR, will be appended to the S1 only, because this strncat is used to concatenate 2 strings up to specified n characters only. Okay friends, so I am just showing this output. Okay, here you can see that the string 1 is good, and from the second string I have appended only the 3 characters, that is a space MO. Okay friends, so this is how you have to apply strncat. Okay, so for example, if I append this, I will change the size here, that is this is some 5 or something. Okay, so now we'll see. So what happens? Okay, you can see that some MORN, okay, MORN is added or appended to the end of the S1. So this is how this strncat works friends. Okay, so coming to the next program, so we'll move to the next program. Okay friends, so see this particular program. So this is another important program friends. So most of the times in placements what they ask is, without using string handling functions, can you concatenate 2 strings? So that is a question they'll ask during the placements. So here what I have done is I have appended the string to at the end of S1 without a strcat function, that is a string concatenation function. Okay, so for that what you have to do is you have to use the loops manually. You have to append the things. Okay, so see here this friends, I have taken S1 as a good and S2 as a morning as usual, and I have taken 2 variables I and j. So for your reference I have just printed the first 2 strings, that is good and morning. And what I have done here is I have used the for loop from I equals to 0, s1 of I not equals to null I plus plus. So what I have done here is I just moved my I value to the end of the first string. So you can see here by the end of the for loop you are having a semicolon here. So that means this I is traversed to the last index value. Okay, so then I have used another for loop. I have taken j is equals to 0 and s2 of j not equals to null. I have just incremented I plus plus and j plus plus. For what? Because I am just shifting s2 of j, that is the characters from second string, into first string. Just you can use the assignment operator equals to. So s2 will copy all the characters on s2 into s1. That is but here the I is not 1 friends, because in the first for loop I is incremented to the last index. That means so that will skip the first string, that is good, and at the end of the good that will append the morning. Okay, but when you are appending these copying these things, /0 is not copied. So because we have run until null, so I have to manually put a /0 as my last character. If you forget this particular line, this particular line, so you will get a string that will have a garbage value, because you have to put /0 at the end of the string. Okay friends, so I have just printed that after concatenation what is the contents of my s1. Okay friends, so now I'll execute this program. Okay, so now here so you can see that s1 is a good and s2 is a morning, and after concatenation s1 will be the good morning. Okay friends, so this is a program, so how you can append one string at the end of another string without using string handling functions. So that is important friends, without using string handling functions, how you can append two strings. Okay, we'll move to the next program. Okay friends, so now you can see here, so I want to use another string handling function that is called strcmp, that means str string comparisons. Okay, so I have taken two strings s1 and s2, and both the strings are initialized to the word called world, but s1 is initialized to the string with the lowercase letters and s2 is initialized to the string with the uppercase letters. Okay friends, so what you have to do here is, so here I want to show you how to change this to uppercase and how to apply the string comparison later. So in this particular program I am using two string handling functions. One is converting your string to uppercase and then comparing the two things. Okay, so s1 is actually having the lowercase letters. First I will convert it into the uppercase letters with this particular statements. Here in the printf statement there is a function called strupr, that is string upper s1. That means all the letters in s1 are converted into capital letters. Then I am checking strcmp. Okay friends, so what is this strcmp? Strcmp is a function that compares two strings and returns 0 if they are equal. So remember friends, if the two strings are equal, it returns 0. So I have just checked that thing in the if statement, that is strcmp of s1 and s2 are equals to 0, then s1 and s2 are equal, otherwise s1 and s2 are not equal. Okay friends, so now I will show you the execution of this particular program. So here see that actually s1 is assigned to the word called world with the lowercase letters, but here you can see that all the letters are converted into the uppercase letters. Then I have compared two strings. Since s1 is converted to the uppercase letters and s2 is also having uppercase letters, so both the strings are equal. Okay, so I'll just change it. Okay friends, so I'm just changing it to so this one also I will take it as a capital letters friends. So this first string also capital letters. So there is another function called strlwr, that is a string lower. Okay, so I'll just remove these capitals. Okay, okay, so there is another string handling function called strlw, that is string lower function, that will convert your so whatever the string that is having the capital letters will be converted into the lowercase letters. Okay friends, so here this particular program, first string world will be converted into lowercase letters. When you are comparing lowercase letters with uppercase letters, that will be considered as a different letters, because lowercase letters and the uppercase letters ASCII values are different. So you in this particular example, both the strings are not equal, I think. Okay friends, so we'll execute this program. So see here, so s1 is converted into lowercase, that is world, and s1 s2 are not equal. Okay friends, so this is a small example how you can use this string lower and string upper functions, and as well as string comparisons. Okay friends, remember that string comparison returns 0 only when two strings are equal. Okay friends, we will move to the next program. Okay friends, so see here, so what I have done here is so I have just copied this so one string into another string until specified number of times. Okay, I have already given this particular shown this particular program in the previous program, so for your reference I'm just using here. Okay, so there are two strings s1 and s1, asking for the strings, and then at this particular line what I am doing is string copying until n specified characters. Okay, so here I have taken that n value as a 2 or something. Okay, so I'll just execute this particular program. So it is asking for me a string. Okay, so I'll write I have, and a string is another string is so India. Okay friends, so what is the n value in this particular program, that is a 2. So I have copied string 1 into string 2, that is hi how are you into string 2, but until only 2 characters. So what are the 2 characters in your first string, that is a HA. So IN is replaced by HA. Clearly you can see here IN is replaced by HA. So this is how this string copying of n number of characters will get executed. We'll move to the next program, friends. Okay friends, so I want to clarify this string comparison again with this particular program. So I have taken first string as India, so S1 as India and S2 as Indonesia. Okay friends, so I'm just comparing these two strings until n, that is a string comparison until n characters. So that is the thing I want to show here, that is comparing two strings until a specified number of characters. So when you take the size as 3, first 3 letters in the India and Indonesia both are same, so it tells you that the strings are equal. Okay, so I'm just executing this program. So strings are equal, friends. Okay, strings are equal. Okay friends, I just changed the size to next value, that is some 5 or something. Okay, so now what happens, we'll see this. So clearly you can say that the strings are not equal, because in the first string there is India and second string there is Indonesia. So until 5 letters means until D all the characters are matched, but after D the characters are different, so you will get strings are not equal. So this is another program. We'll move to the next program, friends. Okay friends, so this is another important string handling function. Okay, so for better clarity I'm closing the previous programs. Okay, so you can clearly see here. Okay, so what I have doing here is I am declaring a particular string called S1. Okay, I have taken the size as 20, so I'm asking for the string and reading it. So see here I'm printing. So what I am doing here is just look here. Okay, look here friends. So what I have done here is I have used another string handling function called strset, string set function. Okay, so what is this string set function is all about? String set function will set the specified string characters to the given character. Okay friends, so here this particular function is having only 2 parameters. So what is that 3 is, that is actually another version of strset. I'll come to that later. Okay, so here strset function I have taken 2 parameters. First is the string itself S1 and second one is a dollar. Okay, what do you mean by this is all the characters in S1 are converted into or set to dollars. That means whatever the characters in the S1, all those will be replaced with a dollar. So that is example or use of this strset, friends. I'll execute this program. So it will ask me for the string. Okay, so I'm executing hi how. Okay friends, so now you can see that all the characters, okay, there are 7 characters in your string, hi, HAI, then space and HOW, including space also. All the characters are replaced by the characters that you have supplied to the program. So what is the character that I have supplied here? I have supplied a dollar. Okay, I will change it to some hash symbol. Okay, so now you can see that the difference. Okay friends, so I'm just entering again hi how, and all the characters are changed to the character that is a hash symbol. So this is a string set function, friends. So string set function will set all the characters of your string to the specified character. Okay, so there is another version of strset, that is strnset. So what is this is you can specify the count, that is how many characters you want to replace. Okay, so I have specified that n value as 3 here. I am executing this program. Okay friends, so I am again executing hi how. So clearly you can see here only the 3 characters, that is HAI, are replaced by the character hash symbol. So this is another version of a string set function, that is strnset function. Okay friends, so now we'll move to the second program. Another program, that is a 14.c. Okay, Okay friends, so what is this particular str14.c? Okay, so this is a very important program from all these functions, friends. So what I'm here doing is I want to show you how to create a dynamic strings. That means the strings that can be increased or decreased during execution of the program. Okay, so what do you mean by that? You need to apply the all dynamic memory management functions. That is either you can use malloc, calloc or realloc and freeing the memory for free. Okay friends, so this is a program that gives you information about how to create dynamic strings. Okay friends, so see here I have taken a character type of a pointer called p, and I have used malloc function, okay, with the size 5. That means I am creating a string with 5 characters. Okay, so this is the a regular statement that you have to perform with every malloc or calloc functions. That means you need to check whether that memory is allocated for you or not. So in this case, so I am just checking whether my p is equals to null. That means your memory is not allocated. I have to say that memory is not allocated and I have to close the execution of the program. So exit 0. If memory is allocated, that address equals to null will become a false. So that means your memory is allocated. So there is no stopping for the program execution. So here I am coming to this strcpy. So I am just assigning good, the first string good into p. That means I'm just initializing, that means copying my first string into p. So here I'm just printing whether my string is copied or not. So that prints me good. Okay, so see here what I'm doing here is I'm applying realloc function. Okay, so I'm applying realloc function. So I'm changing the size from 5 to 20. And again I'm copying that morning. Okay friends, now I'm printing the characters. Okay, so this is how you can create dynamic strings. That means you can increase or decrease the size of the strings during execution. Okay, I'll execute this particular program, friends. Okay, so now you can see here good morning. Okay, so first thing is I have created the array that is with size 5 and that is good, and I have created another realloc function and I increase the size to 20 and again copied another string into the morning. Okay friends, so this is how you can create dynamic memory functions. Okay friends, so now you can see here the size of the p also. Okay, that means length of the p also. So size means okay friends, now you can see that size of p is 2. Okay, so why I have printed this is, when you're using pointers, whether there's a character pointer or integer pointer, whatever may be the size of the pointer, okay, data type of the pointer, the size of any pointer is the same, that is 2 bytes in older compilers like this. Okay, when you're executing this thing in a GCC compilers, you will get a size of p as of 4 bytes. Okay, but here the size of the p is 2 bytes, friends. Okay, so I'll move to the next program. That is str15.c. Okay friends, just look at this particular program. I have declared a string called s1. I have declared another string pointer, that is a character pointer ch. Okay friends, so why this is I want to show you the execution of another string handling function, string character. Okay, string character. So there is two kinds of a string character function, strchr, strrchr. First I'll show you strchr, then I'll show you the strrchr. So what is this strchr? It will find the specified character, check whether your specified character is present in the string or not. If that character present in the string, it will send its address to your pointer. Okay, so that's why I have taken this string 1 for reading the string and this particular pointer to get the address of the character. Okay, the first occurrence of the character. Okay friends, then you can print the remaining string from that character. Okay, so I'll execute this particular program. Okay, it's asking me for the string. Okay, I'll enter this kind of thing. Okay, hi, how are you? Okay friends, I have entered the string as hi, how are you? Okay, so starting string from character is string starting from the character is, because I have searched for the letter A, so the letter A, the first occurrence of the letter A is at the second place, that is in the word hi. The A is in the second position, so by excluding H, it is giving me that AI, how are you? So that is the string that starts with the character A. Okay friends, I'll show you the another version of strchr. So there is another version, that is strrchr, that is finding the last occurrence of the character. So in the given string, so when this A is the last occurrence, that means in which place the last A is present. So that is a thing here. Okay, I'll execute again this particular program. So again I am executing this. So I'm giving the same string, that is hi, how are you? Okay, string starting from character is A, are you? So in my string there are two A's, first is in hi and another one is in R. So I have used strrchr that finds me the last occurrence of my character A. So the string from that last occurrence is AREYOU, that is RU. So that is the friends. Okay, so here you can see that strchr is taking two parameters. So first parameter is a string, that is S1, and the second parameter is the type of the letter that I am trying to see. Okay friends, so just I will for your reference I am just giving you a letter which is not present in my string, that is I have given the letter as a Z. Okay, again I will execute my program here. Okay, so I will enter this hi, how are you? Okay, so starting string from the character is null. You can clearly see here that your given character is not present in the string, hence that returns the null character. Okay friends, remember that strchr or strrchr will return the first occurrence and last occurrences of your characters, or if the character is not present, it returns null value. So that is important about strchr. Okay, so this is another program, that is str16.c. So what here I want to show you is the working of another function, that is a string reversal. So when you take a string S1 and you read some string into it, and if you want to reverse the string, then you can apply a particular method or function called string reversal of S1. Okay, so I'll execute this particular program. So it is asking me for a string, that is hi, how are you? Okay, I have entered a string called hi, how are you, and just entering it. Okay, so reverse string is equals to, so you, are, how and h, and everything is just reversed. Okay friends, so this is another important string handling function that is called a string reversal. So that is strrev. So this is the particular function called strrev, string reversal. Okay, so we'll move to the another program. Okay, so that is a string 17.c. okay, so what is this particular program is all about is I want to show you how your string handling function str, that is searching a substring inside a main string. Okay, remember friends, str means you can search for a substring inside a main string. So whether that string is present in that particular string or not. If the substring is present in that string, that will give the starting location of your substring. Okay, so you can print that string from that place. Okay, so if that string is not present over there, so that gives you the null value. Okay friends, so you can see here that this particular program is written with a point as a string point, because I want to change that. So in almost all the previous programs, so we have used character arrays for creating the strings, but in this program we are using this character pointers. So that is I have taken 3 pointers, S1, S2 and P. S1 is the main string for me, and S2 is the substring that I want to look for, and P is the result location. Okay, so I am asking for the enter the main string, so read into S1, enter substring, read into S2. Then I have used this function called str, that is finding the substring in main string. So if my string present, that gives me the address, otherwise it gives the null value, and I'm just printing that the string starting from the substring. So is that means I want to just print that string from that location onwards. Okay, so I will execute this program. Okay, it's asking me for the main string, so I'm entering the hi, how are you, and it is asking for the substring. So I'll entering R. So that's substring. So string starting from substring is R. Okay, so since the main string hi, how are you is having the substring R, so from that place onwards it prints the entire string. Okay, I'll execute this program again. I'll try to give a string. And a substring which is not there, so I'll give it as a sub ball. Okay, so that is telling me that it's the substring is null. That means your substring is not present in the main string. So that is the use of the str friends. Okay, we'll move to the next program. Okay, so str18.c. so what here I want to show you is how you have to write a program for string duplicate. So strdup is another string handling function that creates a duplicate string for the original string. So here I have taken s1 for the main string and character pointer s2 for the duplicate string. So I am asking for the string and I am applying string duplicate on s1, so that creates a duplicate string and assigns me to that s2. So I'm just printing that on the screen. Okay, executing here. Okay, so I'm printing a string here, hi Rama. Okay, so here you can see that the duplicate string is created, hi Rama. So what is that hi Rama? That is actually stored in the second string, that is s2. Okay, so this is how you can use this string duplicate. Okay, okay friends, so this is another important program friends. So remember, most of the times we don't know how to use this strtok. Okay, I'm just clarifying the things. That is strtok is a string tokenizer. So that means you can divide your string into number of tokens. So by giving some a specific character that is used for tokenizing your string, that means from whenever that character is encountered in the string, that will be broken into so many smaller strings. Okay, so here I have taken one string, that is s1, and I have taken another string pointer p. So I'm asking for the entire string. Okay, so I have applied this strto, okay, that is string tokenizer on s1. So what is my breakpoint here is a comma. I'm giving the comma as a breakpoint. That means I need to enter a particular string that contains a comma. So whenever there is a comma encountered, that is taken as a separate string, or that will be broken into two different strings. So whenever there is a comma, so that is again forms a new string. So for this I need to use a loop, because for getting all the tokens you have to apply the loop. So I have applied for loop. So this particular for loop prints me the first the token here. Again I need to apply null. Why? Because the when the first moment you get the token, the string will become a null over there. So from that onwards, then you have to if you want to divide the string into another token, you need to proceed from that. So that's why you have to use a string tokenizer on a null and your letter, that is a comma here. Okay, I'll just execute. I'll show you how this particular program will get executed. Okay friends, so it's asking me for the string. Okay, so I'll just type something like hi comma how or comma you comma question mark. Okay, so you can clearly see here I have entered the string that included me that commas, and there is a spaces also. So I have given the character to divide my string into tokens is a comma. So it searches the entire string and finds whenever there is a comma that divides the string into substrings. Okay, so here you can see that token 0 is hi, token 1 is how are. So you can see clearly that a space is not taken as the dividing delimiter or a character, because I have given a comma. So that is included, space is included also. I have taken that how are is converted as a special token, and then again u and comma. Okay, so this is how this string tokenizer works. Okay friends, so this is if I want to give a spaces or something. Okay, I'll just show you how to change. Okay, I'm just removing this comma and just putting space here over here, and here also I'm just putting a space over here. I'll saving this, and again I'm executing this particular program. Okay, so we'll see now. Okay, hi comma space how or comma u question mark. Okay friends, now you can see that hi comma how r comma u question mark. Okay, so you can see here why this particular program is dividing me these my string into this kind of a tokens is here I have changed the character from comma to space. So whenever there is a space in your program or in the string, given string, so that will be the place where that will divide your string into the substrings. So including commas also it's coming. Okay friends, so that means you can use any character to tokenize your string. Okay friends, so these are the various string handling functions, so that is available in C. I have given almost I have touched every string handling function in C. Okay, hope you have understood the concept. Okay, so thank you for watching the video. Thank you, bye.